Good morning. Right now we're looking at example 5 of section 6-2. It says a straight road leads from an ocean beach, which is at sea level, at a constant upward angle of 3 degrees. So here's the ocean. Our road is going uphill at 3 degrees. How high above sea level is the road at a point 1 mile from the beach? Now the road is going uphill, so the 1 mile is also on the hypotenuse here. They've labeled it 5,280 feet because 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, so we know the angle, we know the hypotenuse, and we're trying to find the height of this road. The height of the road would be the opposite leg of the 3-degree angle. So if we're working with the opposite leg and the hypotenuse, which of the 3 ratios do we use? That would be the sine ratio. The sine of our 3-degree angle is equal to the ratio of the opposite leg h to the hypotenuse, which is 5,280 feet, or 1 mile. By writing 5,280 feet, that guarantees that we're going to have a height in feet instead of miles. So, what is the sine of 3 degrees? Trusty calculator says that the sine of 3 degrees is about 0.0523 equals h over 5,280. And then to find h, we can multiply both sides by 5,280, or you can use your means extremes property. So we get h over 5280 multiplied by 5280. Multiply this side by 5,280. And we get that h is approximately 5280 times previous answer. Approximately 276.3 feet above sea level. Okay, let's try example 6 as long as we're at it. A diagonal path through a rectangular park is 600 feet long. One side of the park measures 350 feet. How long is the other side of the park? So to do this problem, we're going to need a picture. So we have a rectangular park. And the diagonal path through this park is 600 feet long. One side of the park measures 350 feet. Since this is a rectangle, this must be a right angle. And we want to know how long is the other side of the park. So since we know 2 sides of this right triangle and we're trying to find the third side, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So x squared plus 350 squared has to equal 600 squared. So x squared plus, let's see, it's 12,250, I think. Let's check that out. 350 squared. Oh, missed a 0. Equals 36,000. So 360,000. Then we subtract 122,500 from both sides, and we get x squared is 237,500. And now we want to take the square root of both sides, so we get x is approximately square root of that answer. let's see, square root of 237 times approximately 487.3 feet. But there's a part B. What angle does the diagonal path make with the side whose length you found in part A? So we're trying to find this angle. We'll call it theta. And we know the opposite leg and the hypotenuse. So we're going to use the sine ratio. So the sine of whatever angle theta is has to equal the ratio of 350 to 600. And then in order to find theta, we have to get rid of the sine, so we take the sine inverse of both sides. So the sine inverse of the sine of theta equals the sine inverse of, let's see if we can reduce that to 35/60ths at least. And when you take the sine inverse of the sine, those counteract each other, and so we're left with just theta. And now we're going to approximate the sine inverse of 35/60ths. And we get about 35.7 degrees. Okay, so there you go. Those are examples 5 and 6. Good luck on your homework.